Hello people, my people. I am bringing you today a wither killer that is AFK and, well, obviously suffocation based, but AFKable. And it has an attached wither rose farm to it as well. So you can see that behind me here. And it is 100% safe to AFK. No risk at all of anything going wrong. Don't look at that over there. So we will just go over this real quick here in a quick showcase, and then I will have a separate video with a build tutorial for your Suffocation AFK Wither Killer here, and the Wither Rose attachment for it. One regards to the safety of this, it is actually quite stable as long as you are not cutting corners with the build. And you don't try running it through world restarts or logging out or leaving the area with a wither alive. So if you don't build it right, then yeah, you can start having some fun with a little bit of destruction. But this double-walled, waterlogged stair box here that we have, it is meant to contain the wither skulls. It will not contain a wither. If you were to spawn in a wither and then punch it, it would do enough damage to destroy the inner walls, the ceiling, and it would eventually float out and you'd have to deal with it. What's going on inside here, the easiest to see here, is we have a small end gateway. And you're spawning the wither in, and then with this little pattern of solid blocks I've got here, and then our cobblestone that we have behind it from our cobblestone generator to make sure that that's always freshly replenished, the wither will kind of wander itself into the center of this as it spawns, and then it's trapped. But because we can't remove the bedrock that was removed here in this build, those two pieces of bedrock, since we can't remove those, if you were to unload the area, leave the area, or log out, the wither would get pushed out of this when you log back in or return to the area. Which is why you don't want to be running this thing for too long on servers that have automatic restarts, or you don't want to summon in a wither and then close the game down right away, because it'll escape and you'll end up with problems like that. Now, as far as the rates go for this thing, it can do 4 withers at a time, and it takes about 2 minutes to go through a cycle. So that means you're getting about 120 withers per hour if you're running this thing at the full 4 withers at a time. And it has a dropper back here that is your counter for how many withers it will spawn, or it will allow to spawn in at a time. So it does prevent you from spawning more. For this video, I am going to just do 1 wither at a time. But then the wither roses, they have their own little timer here to make sure that they don't spawn in when there's not going to be a wither in here to deal with them, because it's the explosions from the wither that's going to create the wither roses. We get, with 3 allays up there, 10 stacks in the 2-minute cycle. Now that, because again this is all timed and controlled, I feel fairly confident in just doing the math on that. That is over 11 shulker boxes in an hour if you were to run this thing AFK. I am rounding down. It is actually like 10.5 stacks, and it is a couple seconds faster than 2 minutes. So doing the math again, and we're at about 20,000 wither roses per hour. Now that is getting pretty close to double the speed of my 11,000 ink per hour squid farm that I just released. So let's just jump right into how to use the farm. Now, this obviously doesn't have a nice, easy way to get up to it. So in survival, you build yourself a little scaffolding access point up here to crawl in, or you take this scaffolding that I've got for rooftop access, and you would run it straight to the ground. But inside here, show you, is where the wither gets stuck, and your nether stars will be sitting right in here, and some experience will be sitting right in here. That experience can also cause the wither to escape, but the way you get your nether star collection is by actually coming down into this box. And that's why we have this water column down in here, because anything inside this box will get destroyed. You can't have any easy way to come up and down, so you just swim up the water to get in and out. And to keep that experience from giving you problems, that's why the player stands down in here, basically right underneath where the withers are spawning. So you do take some damage, so you'll want some good armor, and you'll want a regen beacon, and you'll want mending on your armor. But the experience you take will make sure that your armor doesn't break, and a regen beacon will also just help to make sure that you stay topped up on health. And we have an off and on switch here, a little master off and on switch. So if we leave this thing on, and remember I changed this so that it's only allowing one wither to spawn at a time. We're going to lock ourselves into here so that the explosions can't push us too far away, like they might push you over here. And as you're standing on a trapdoor, you can't bounce around too much. So I'm just going to hold this down. See, it gets ready to summon another wither, but it won't summon the other wither because I only had it set up to allow one at a time. So let's go out and watch. Back. Obviously there's nothing really much to see with the wither, but our silverfish are spawning in, and there's a good number in here, and that's why I've given them plenty of space to move around, because they can start to glitch through blocks. And when they do that, there's the possibility they could come in and attack you, or they could get in and cause problems with your wither, and again, allow the wither to escape. So that's why I've limited this to 3 allays, and given them a decent bit of space down there to be in, just to make sure that we're not going to have them shooting all over the place and getting into things. And then the last little bit of protection is this air gap right there. You do need that air gap. That way if they do shoot out of this wall, they're not going to immediately pass into these blocks and get into the wither. Now as far as the timing goes, you'll see here shortly that just before the wither gets to exploding, our suffocation setup here with the allays is going to turn itself off. And that's why I like this setup, because it can be controlled and shut off when you want to stop spawning. And it has stopped. And now our wither is going to finish itself off there in suffocation. And this little hopper clock timer down here is going to trigger here shortly, which then it will allow us to do the next batch. Now if I had adjusted this dropper here, it would allow me to spawn in more withers in one go. You do want to make sure you're spawning them all at one time, because you need to get them all summoned in before the first wither has fully finished summoning in itself. Otherwise, again, you end up with that. That's why we are restricted to 4 withers at a time, at least for me while I'm playing on PC, and I can place the blocks down quickly. If you can't place the blocks down quickly, you may want to only do 2 withers at a time, or 1 wither at a time. But either way, if you're able to work out how to place blocks while AFK, this will work for you. So we're kind of stuck here waiting for this to to wind itself down. Obviously, I can't leave the world here until this guy finishes. We can hop in here and have a look at him. You can see he's stuck inside here. And you can see our nether star. See the old nether star in there a little bit. Yeah. I did take a bit of a risk in not collecting the experience by sitting down there. But it's not too bad when there's only one wither. Wait for this. Spawns in and there. So you see that experience again sitting right there that you get automatically collected when you're underneath. Pick those up. Up I go. And so we've just run 2 cycles through. Got only 3 silverfish left over. And the wither roses are coming in here shortly. We'll wait. 21, 2, 23 stacks in 2 cycles. So that was 23 stacks in 4 minutes that we just watched right there. Anyway, so that is the build. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you guys later in the build tutorials. Bye.